It's Week 15 of the National Football League. And up next is the Texans' burner at wide receiver, whose utter dominance has moved him within range of the single-season receiving record. It's the Texans and the Saints, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
This is the NFL on EA Sports as we join you from the so-called Space City, Houston, Texas. Today on to Week 15 in the NFL, and we've got a good matchup in store, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They've gone a full half season since their last loss, winners of 8 in a row.
And you don't get on win streaks like this without your defense playing a big role. They've created quite an identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
And we are underway from Houston. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Now Spears to begin the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Right back to Spears. And space tough to come by there. So they'll get maybe a yard to the 37. But Charles, as we've covered, they've already clinched their spot in the postseason. So now they just want to avoid adding any additional names to this list before the postseason begins.
Terrific observation, because trying to move up a spot, I don't know if it's worth it if you're trying to play guys who aren't quite right. Get them healthy, get ready for the playoffs, make your move then.
A second down throw from Levis. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Back to throw, it's Levis. And that will be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Taken in at the 22. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So here come the Texans now for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And he's had such a sensational season to this point, leading the NFL in passing yards. He's been helped out a lot by an outstanding set of receivers, and he's quick to give them credit. But I think even they would tell you that he's the guy that makes this offense go.
60 Maverick! 60 Maverick!
Play action. Stroud now. He's got him in. Complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's a gain of 34.
I guess we got a good idea about what the game plan is for attacking this secondary. No beating around the bush with this crew. His first throw of the game is a deep shot, and it connects. That's a tendency breaker right there because normally you build up to the big shot, but not in this case.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. The handoff to Ford up the middle. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The Texans at 11-2 now. They've gone a full couple of months now since their last loss. Winners of 8 in a row.
And we always talk about how a team has to play complementary football in order to really be a good squad. But I think in this league, if your offense isn't playing really well as this one is, you're not going to run off this kind of a streak.
Here's 2nd and 3. Play action. Here's Stroud. And Sharp pulls it in. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 24 yards. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Here's Stroud. And it'll be intercepted. And the Saints are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that goes to the goal line. If you throw an interception, it's going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Levis out of the shotgun now. That one's taken in by Spears. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Second and 15. On the option, here's Spears. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. When you look at the defense for these Texans, it's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the number 1 overall offense in the league.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Levis in trouble. Down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. A 3rd and long. You knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
Here's Jordan Stout now. Fielded at about the 28. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Texans will take over. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Playoff picture here, and you see they've got that number 2 spot right now. Obviously a lot to like about that and where they're at in this home stretch of the season. But that first-round home game is not guaranteed, Charles, until they lock up their division.
Bottom line, win the division, stay number 2. You get a favorable game at home to begin what you hope will be a nice postseason run.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Offenses all over continue to be aggressive, and most people never turn down a shot at a deep ball. But oftentimes, it attracts a little bit of extra attention, and it did on that play, and that one got knocked away.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Throwing now is Stroud. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Stroud forced out to his left. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Hey, check that.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Now 2nd and 9.
79 Broncos. Let's go.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Eluding the pressure right. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Flush to his right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
Butker's kick here is good, and it's now 3-0 Texans. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks at tables end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Levis in trouble. Down he goes. That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Working from the gun, here's Levis. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do?
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Out now is a punter, Jordan Stout. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken from just outside the 30. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
19 tight, 19 tight.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up at halftime. Personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando. The coach, he'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Stroud to throw it. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Robert Spillane, the linebacker, there on the tackle.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Well, he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. gets him 15 and a first down. He's fresh off that 3-touchdown performance last week that got him AFC Offensive Player of the Week, so you know that he was already on their radar. Now he's maybe even a bigger plane on their radar.
Bigger plane. I mean, he is the big dot on that screen that they're looking at and saying, how in the heck do we stop him? They're going to try a bunch of different things, different people covering him, but right now he's locked in and is in sync with his quarterback.
Oh, good move. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. 2nd and 6 from the 10. In motion goes the tight end. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
They gotta walk that walk, baby. They can't rush, baby. Play it to the wheel. I got you, baby. Play a little aggressive, baby. Oh, let's turn it up, baby. Ready?
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
On the ball, now. Go.
Stroud will look to throw once more. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
Looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Now Stroud out to his left. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. C.J. Stroud taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Texans will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was C.J. Stroud who finished off that drive with the touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half. They're certainly in need of some kind of points here before the end of the half. A field goal or something. Being shut out right now, they could really use some momentum before they head into halftime. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Levis looking to throw. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
Automatic first down.
Levis now on 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Moore, the man in motion. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
What an advantage having a elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start up at TIAA Bank Stadium in Jacksonville. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. Next, we'll head over to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Kyler Murray, 2 touchdown passes thus far. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And that one all tied. We just watched a very good first half out of the Ohio State man, C.J. Stroud. He's got the lone touchdown of the game on a touchdown run. We'll see if he can get it going through the air as this one goes on. These 2 clubs running through their final halftime adjustments. It's just about time to get back at it. And for the call of the second half, we go back out to Houston, H-Town, and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. $10-0 is our score as we get started again on EA Sports. And able to get this out to the 25. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled him with the inside run.
This is Ford. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Stroud off the play fake. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
18 Radley.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. Oh, and that is incomplete.
They have their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there. His 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Butker on for the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And a long run there in the end to top it off. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They start the drive with Cook. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Skirts by him at the 35. And this will wind up as Saints 1st down as he gets it up past the 35.
But, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 49 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A little bit of daylight on that 1st down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. 2 yards to go, 2nd down. The Spears with another carry. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Out of the gun to give to Spears. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. So after some runs, now they'll throw with Levis. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. 2nd down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Off the play fake, Levis. Throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete. But the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Levis. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And the Texans are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
19 Lions.
Stroud looking to throw. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. As Stroud now to throw. Flushed out right. Pass taken in by his big tight end. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Give him 30 yards there.
I don't care what level of football you played. This one was a universal, wasn't it? When we were kids and we played touch football, remember we get in these positions and you just say, everybody go along and hope someone would come free.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Hey, check that, street.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9.
offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Touchdown! DJ Chark, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Butker now to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Butker now to kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't get... plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
The first down screen pass, good for 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Levis. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And Levis going back to the air. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time now. Here's Levis. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. They'll go play action here with Stroud. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Texans add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Butker on for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The New Orleans offense set to take over. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. First and 10. Here's Levis. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
It's almost closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
The job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Levis from the gun. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Will Anderson in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, An absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
The Saints on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This will be third and forever. Hand off to Spears. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up fourth down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Here comes the Saints punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Taken right around the 44. How did he stay on his feet? A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
Play action. Here's Stroud. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Cowboy 80. Panther 11. Panther 11.
Play action. Stroud now. That is caught. Down inside the 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, Charles, just impressive in all 3 phases. Offense, defense, special teams have really done their job. And here the offense doing its part yet again with another score in the 4th quarter.
I know it seems like something we shouldn't do because the scoreboard does tell it all. But let's set it aside for a moment. This game was absolutely memorable with how they played it. Really terrific effort, really well executed. Congratulations to them.
Butker now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone.
Set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result. Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Levis sets up to throw here. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll be a couple yards at the 18. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Well, a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17. Levis to throw it. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Levis out of the shotgun now. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Levis back to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Well, it's an old chestnut, but let's face it, offensively, they've got to have some pride here because this has been a worst-case scenario all game for them. Keep putting in the effort. Keep trying to keep your quarterback upright and get through the end of this one as quickly as possible.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Taking it about the 36. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Cup 19! Cup 19!
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball, when we see them the next time out.
Butker on for the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big, you really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter, but do that? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, for the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback and giving him a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And that's going to be incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Oh, with a juke. Nice punt, but good work on the return to give back 11 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Well, they came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the fourth.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early. But give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.
Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, you realize that both sides of the ball were so dominant in this game. And on offense, not only did they score it, but they did it through the air as well as on the ground. Everything was working.
And you know that the guys who scored the touchdowns, who contributed that way, that threw them or ran them, they're going to find our cameras and have a big grin for them. But I hope our cameras find that offensive line. How versatile were they? Move the ball on the ground, move people so they could run it, and then protected their passers so they could throw it.
So for the Texans, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.